lot of dogs in the NHL hockey playoffs. I thought there'd be some closer games. I know Ty's probably a little bit more upset about that than I am, but
what happened?
The Golden Knights got their asses beat last night, but again, we just talked about it. You got a guy who gets his face pretty much sliced off, gets 75 stitches, only misses a couple shifts, and comes back out and plays. You have absolutely no chance to win the game.
What's that dude's name from that movie where the billionaire kid becomes Robin Hood? He, what is that, Batman?
Yeah, Bruce Wayne.
Okay, so, and then
Well said.
Then who's the person at the end of
Two-Face.
That could have happened to Cuz last night.
Yeah.
He was getting full body weight pushed this way, a couple 100 pounds of pressure this way, with a a knife basically this way, with the knee, and that bone right there, pretty strong. I think this bone's pretty strong here.
Yeah.
So the couple 100 pounds on his face coming down this way, and then no give on this side with a knife here. That could have been heads I win, tails
big time.
You lose,
For
whatever the hell it is.
Goalie skate's usually a bit more heavy duty as well, so
Does look a little more heavy duty.
It
It
does.
looks sharp as a blade.
And he basically just said, hey, as long as I can see out of my right eye, that's all that matters. I don't need the left side of my face at all.
Came back and played 75. Great work by the suture. Suture as well. That's a lot of
A lot of moving.
a lot of needles. A lot of needles quickly. And that's how it ended. That doctor should be very proud of their work.
Yeah.
Thank God for the helmet too.
The helmet, the one that he put on afterwards, or the one
Well,
in general?
if he didn't. I'm just saying the helmet saved him a little bit because if he didn't have the shield and that
was
it
after.
might would have got in his eye.
So that's the thing. Like, it actually went up underneath his.
Yeah.
I think it went up underneath his helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it lifted it up there.
It's like when you send an Isley chopped ham through the slicer.
Yeah, cut that meat. We've seen the Peyton commercial. Cut that meat. Cut that meat. When it has kind of like a guardrail.
Right,
on it.
yep.
Here, Rupper, you're a Stanley Cup champion. The NHL playoffs are electrifying. How great is it when a guy gets 75 stitches to the head, comes back onto the ice, and they ask him afterward, what was going through your mind aside from a skate? He said, I just want to know if we scored or not. That's just common mentality in hockey, and that's something hockey has that nobody else has, I think, at this point.
I mean, that picture's tough to watch. And you were talking about it earlier. I know, like, he had some back pressure, like getting pushed. I don't think the defender knew that his face was on a knife, right? Like, and he's pushing down on him. And, I mean, I don't know. I think that, I was actually texting with one of the guys, one of the Winnipeg Jets players today. They got their day in between games right now. And I go, hey, what's up with Morgan Barron? Like, how's his face, man? What's he looking like today? And he writes back and he's like, he's good. He's good. Everything's good. But he goes, it's a scary moment. You're in that game. You see a player getting ushered off the ice with a trainer. You got blood coming. You don't know where because they're holding a towel up to it. And so they got to resume play, right? And then at the intermission, they go in. They go, first thing we do, take our shit off, bang, right in the training room. Go see him on the table. And he's laying on the table. He goes, Rupper, it was ugly. Like, it was ugly, but once we learn that he's okay, it's just going to be a nasty ass scar. Then it's like the locker room takes over, right? Well, thank God you're married, bud. You're off the market now. Thank God, you don't gotta find a woman anymore. So
old zipper face.
It took a stab in the face, like you mentioned earlier, and he is fine. But yeah, that's the mentality. I think that it's like you sit there, you're scared in that moment. You see blood coming. You don't know exactly how bad it is. And then once you find out that, hey, we got this, you're in good hands. You got the doctors and everybody there.
Hey, where was it exactly? I don't think I got to see. So it's literally going to look like he has just a jeans zipper just straight up the side of his head. And how deep does it go in there?
I didn't get a clean look at it, but what it looks like to me, it's almost a little Mike Tyson-esque tattoo right around, I think, the eye. Right.
75 stitches, dude? That's so many.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's crazy. I've never seen that many. Like that's exceptional. How many are there? But dude, coming back, putting the cage on and playing. I mean, yeah, you want to get back there. I'm fine. Cool. Let's get back out there. We got a game to win. So,
dude, just
terrible.
Beast.
I had the one time I had 36. I had 36 in the tip of my nose. I had
36 in the nose? You got a no offense.
Yeah.
That's a big nose.
Got some surface to cover. But you know what it was is, like a fish hook, right? I had a fish hook before, and I got split open for like 10 in here from a fish hook, and then it was the same thing. There's a scrum. It was actually against the Penguins farm team in Wilkes-Barre. I was playing for the Devils farm team in Albany, and it's the end of the game. The guy's name's Darcy Verrott. Funny story here. We're playing. There's a scrum at the end of the game. Everyone's kind of dropping the gloves and grabbing on everybody. I grab both hands, one on each guy's collar. I grab two guys because two guys came at me. And I'm looking, and I look in my right hand, and I've got Jason McDonald, who I know is a tough guy. I got this other guy over here. I don't know if he's a tough guy. So I'm like, I got to pick and choose who I'm going to try to grab here. So I'm like, I'm going to go with the tough guy. So I let go of the other guy, and I fall on top of him, and we're fighting. Everyone on the ice is fighting, so the referees aren't getting involved. This son of a bitch, Darcy Verrott, gets behind me, and he basically fish hooks my nose. It just rips my face off.
Jeez.
And so finally we break it up. I see blood pouring out. I don't know what's going on. I go to the locker room, and I get stitched up for an entire period and a half. So I'm like half the game I'm in there getting stitches inside my nose, and it's basically just right around the tip of my nose. And I remember getting stitched up, went back for the third period. I'm like, I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to kill him. And so we went out on the ice, and I remember the first face-off, I was taking the draw. I was playing center. He was playing center. We line up for the face-off, and I'm pretending like I'm just moving on, right? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to give him a shift, and he was like kind of coming in the draw, like, are you going to do something here? And I played a shift, didn't do anything. The next shift, go to take another draw. I think he's probably like, all right, maybe he's not going to do anything. As soon as the puck dropped, I just dropped my gloves and hit him and started another one, right? So fast forward about 4 years. I'm in Columbus playing for the Columbus Blue Jackets. I get sent down to the minors for a weekend to get some games in, and because I wasn't playing much in Columbus. So I'm down in the minors, and I'm walking through the locker room, and I remember at the end of that fight when I fought him, when my nose was all over the place, my nostril was like hanging off. Ugh. And I said to him, I'm like, I'm coming at you every time I see you the rest of my life, and whatever. So I'm walking through our locker room, Columbus's locker room. I turn the corner, and I see this guy. Here we go. And I got like this hot flash, like, I'm going to kill him. I'm like, wait, he's on our team now? He was on our team. Called him up from the East Coast Hockey League. And you know what we did? We went out to lunch that day. We had lunch. We had a beer. And we talked about it. I was like, dude, you don't understand. I want to fight you right now. He's like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I had to, you get in those moments that things get crazy.
Hey, that's good.
We made up.
Let's put our swords down. Right. That's good. Darcy that's good news. Happy you got that figured out. I assume he was not exactly thrilled to have you as a man that was hunting him for the rest of his life. So he loved that lunch as much as you did, and the Blue Jackets. Skate to the face happen often? Because, Happy Gilmore, obviously. Right. I'm the only guy to ever take my skate off and stab somebody with it. It seems like that's always potentially there. Fingers picking up sticks down on the ground. Face, obviously, I guess, because you're down on the ground and there's skates flying around. It doesn't seem to happen that often, though. Am I reading that right or no?
Yeah, so skate to the face does not, thank God, it doesn't happen often. Where it gets it a lot of times, you get skate to like the inner thigh, or you get it to the back of, there's times where you get it. So as a hockey player, for the fans that don't know, your padding is basically in the front of you, right? So you've got your shin pads are in the front. Your hockey pants have pads in the front, not very limited in the back, right? So it's mostly for blocking shots and the puck or slashes with a stick. So that the vulnerable spots are usually the backside. So you'll see players, and a lot of times it happens with goalies, right? Like they're making these desperate saves. They're laying on their stomach, kind of doing snow angels trying to make these saves. And their vulnerable piece is sticking up. So you got players battling front. So you got guys stepping on them. So you usually see it in the back of the legs, which is still not good. But thank God, Morgan Barron's okay. And hopefully we don't see that too much more.
Yeah, let's keep skates away from faces, boys.
Yeah.
Skates on ice, pucks on net.